Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff, and we are a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. Disability has all sorts of different possibilities. It could be talking about a physical or mental disability, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, uh, substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own or with people we know or people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we celebrate the ability in all of us. I am so incredibly excited to bring a great group of people together here tonight. Kudos to Emily for getting this awesome group assembled. This is going to be a fun evening. And as always, I am going to go ahead and bring in Miss Denise Vargas to join me in hosting tonight. So Denise, welcome.
Hello, Milwaukee, all the way from New York. You know, I love hosting a radio show with you. And yeah, we do have some amazing guests today. Can't wait to hear from them.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to go ahead right away and bring in Dr. Sheila Thomas to join our conversation. So Dr. Sheila, join us here. And I wonder if you could go ahead and give us a snippet of who you are, what you do, and welcome. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sue and Diva. I am just excited to be here all the way from Georgia, South Georgia at that. Yes, where it's really, really hot. But like you said, my name is Dr. Sheila Thomas, and I am a parent coach. I work with parents, giving them tools and strategies and tips to advocate for their children, build a solid foundation. I've been an educator for many, many years, and just decided to expand my work to work with parents. And my niche is working with parents of Black boys because I am a mom of Black sons who have done exceptionally well in education. And I want to ensure that all Black boys are given an opportunity to be successful because we're trying to disrupt the school to prison pipeline. So that is the work that I do. I work with the parents and, teach them through courses and through my books and everything about how to make sure our children are successful in school and in life.
Excellent. Oh, I love that. There's so many things I want to ask you. But before we get diving too deep, I know we do have more guests joining us. So I want to get all of us in the room here together. So let's go ahead and keep the introductions going, and we will all be able to participate then in the conversation here. So our next guest that I'd like to bring in is Christian. So if you can go ahead and join us here and introduce yourself as well, please. Oh, and actually, I'm not sure if maybe we got frozen here for a moment, but see if, so Christian, come on in and introduce yourself.
I do. Thank you so much, too. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thanks again. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. My name, yes, is Christian. I'm a co-founder and business director of EC marketing for topic of conversation. A lot of our youth and upbringing in the Hispanic communities, the migrant communities in the 80s is some of our background being directly affected by that and being brought up in that community. Now to be able to see and be able to look back and not just look back, but be able to uplift and privilege to share this airspace with Dr. Sheila and what you guys are doing. So I'm very happy to be a little and just another pebble so that we can make ripples and see how far we can make this wave, how high we can make the wave go and continue to support each other.
Excellent. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Christian. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the wonderful Debbie Miller joining us again tonight. I know she was with us last week, and we've known Debbie for, gosh, quite a long time now. Actually, I think we got years under our belt at this point. And Debbie, if you want to remind everybody who you are and what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to meet these wonderful guests that you have. I'm Debbie Miller from the Kansas City area. So hello, Milwaukee. I'm with, sorry, Prepaid Legal Services, Inc., which is Legal Shield and ID Shield, helping all of us have access to legal assistance and identity protection for seriously an affordable amount. A month, you can probably cheaper than a lot of other things that you do every month. So it's a great way to help protect your family and your small businesses. Thanks, Sue. Back to you.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. Always good to see you. And we do have also Alan Holmes joining us tonight, all the way from the other coast. So Alan, come on in and remind everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good wherever you are. Hot, Southern California, Hemet, California, on the way to a place called Rancho Cucamonga. Welcome to the family, as Dr. Denise says, Dr. Sheila and Christian. Thank you for being a part of the Hispanic culture. My amigo, see, I speak a little Spanish. I am a master connector. Collaborating, connecting, and networking is what I do best. I love to take each one of you and just hug you and just love you all upon you, because, you know, I take care of my mental health, wife with mental illness, but I call it mental wellness. So eradicating poverty, ending mental health stigma, and educating on financial literacy, and while we're making an impact on the world, or as Christian says, what I say, moving that pebble. So back to you, Miss Sue. Thank you for having all of us.
Excellent. What an amazing group. Look at this room. I love this. So Dr. Sheila, I do want to bring you back in here. If we can dive in a little bit more, tell us more about, I know you said you have written books and there's the education that you do. Can we dive in just a little deeper here? What do you bring to us as that nugget of expertise that you have that you share with the world? Because I know you've got a lot of good things at your fingertips that you are working on, and I wonder if you can tell us a little more.
Sure. Well, like I said, I've been an educator for over 35 years. And also in my work, I'm what's called a Bright from the Start trainer. That's with the state of Georgia. And what I'll do with that job was I would go to daycare and provide training for the teachers. So in my work as a teacher and as a trainer for daycare teachers, there was always this thing teachers would say, parents don't know what to do with the children. They need to do better. I wish parents would read to the children. And so I had an epiphany moment. I said, you know what? Parents need to be trained. We're trained as educators. So I was given this, God gave me this ability to go out and train parents, to work with the parents, to teach them the things that I did with my sons for their success. I do it through workshops that I host. I host them at schools, at church, wherever I'm needed, I'm there. I do one-on-one parent coaching, but also with my parent coaching comes various topics on parenting, on understanding your child's development. Like I said, creating a math and literacy foundation at home, understanding that children have different intelligences. All these things are very important for parents to know. Understanding their child's love language is one of the modules I really love, because everyone has a different love language. And so parents have to tap into that. And where they understand that better, then they're able to articulate and advocate for their child at school, and tell the teachers, hey, my child is musical. My sons are very musical. So they were always drumming on the desk. So I would tell the teachers, they're drummers. No, they shouldn't drum throughout your class, but let's learn how to, use that energy of drumming and let them do the drumming for when something amazing happens in the classroom. So those are the things I'm teaching parents to do. And then to support my work, I have my books that I've written. One is called Raising Brilliant Black Boys, which is just a neat research-based book that I've written with tips and strategies that are research-based and some things I've done. And then I also have books for children. One that's sitting here is JR's Biggest Fan, which is a book I wrote about my sons and how, as a mom, I always supported them with the affirmation, son, never give up. I know you can. Always be your biggest fan till they found something amazing they love to do, which of course is music.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. Christian, come on in. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on this.
Woo, heavy. Again, the beautiful story. I have 24 years of marriage, 11 years without children, and now 12 with. So it'll be 13 with. So when you mention the education part, um, in any community, the education part for us as parents, not only that I have that such a big glare for, but the funny part is that my mom was a daycare provider, a foster parent, as well as an emergency, yes, an educator, as a teacher herself. So I've been around kids and taking care of children for many many years. Let's put it that way. That still did not prepare me a single bit for my own children, and the 11 years without children. Still, you would think I was better prepared. Yet again, I did not. So when you say that we have to learn as parents, boy, I tell you, that is, and the pandemic was one of those. Hey, listen, how valuable are educators? And I tell you, I do a lot for educators because they are that exactly. You are forming our future, you are impacting our future. But I cannot even speak on anything if I myself don't understand what my role is. I'm a collaboration of that educational system. And as you said, it is affirmations. So, yes, I love the work that you're doing. I'm more than supportive about what you're doing, Dr. Sheila, because I truly am. Um, Now, after many years, I've also have broken down many barriers and have gone to affirmations and have gone to better understanding and that love language that each individual child is needs are different. So yeah, I'm again 1,000% supportive in what you're doing. And then the other part about it, which is obviously our underserved communities that need to be. And I tend to not use the old word of minorities because that has stopped being the case for many years. But again, I want to be inclusive in regards to what all communities needs, and it doesn't matter what color of skin. It's just truly about the heart and children. So that's another one near and dear to my heart. So I will definitely, you let me know if we can collab there, Miss. Or sorry, Dr. Sheila.
Excellent. Oh, I love that. Actually, Diva, I'd love to bring you into this conversation a bit too. I know you've been listening in with what they've all been saying here. What's your take? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's that thing about train the trainer so that they can then really just make the world bloom, right? Because if we ourselves don't know how to do something, how are we ever going to teach someone else? How are we going to raise, I don't have any children, but how are we going to raise those leaders, those creators, those doers, those innovators, right? Like we need to be able to teach them. So I am so grateful that you were doing that. It's like, and story time. Who does not love story time? Even as adults, we love to hear stories.
Excellent. Yeah, because becoming a parent, there's, oh gosh, we aren't prepared for it necessarily, right? Just because the child shows up and is now here. Okay, now what? We need resources too, right? We're everything for them. We are supposed to know it all, but we got to learn what we need to do. We need to learn how to best put our kids in scenarios that will be the best for them. And that's not something that just is automatic, right? So Debbie, I'd love to hear a little bit from you too, because you're a mom of several and grandparent of many. What are your thoughts?
Well, I totally love the idea of training parents because obviously we often feel like there's not any training material available. So I'm thankful to see that there are some things that can help us, and also the books. Great way to start instilling those training things to the young people who will be our next parents. Having 5 sons and 5 daughters of love now and 18 plus 1 grandchildren, it's awesome to know that these things are available and already out there. And kudos to you, Dr. Sheila, that you're getting the information out for the next generation. Thank you.
Excellent. And Ellen, I want to open a door for you if you had any thoughts here too.
Well, Sue, you're going to ask me to come into this great panel and just contribute. My goodness, I am so humbled. My wife and I don't have any children either, but to the world, people know that I am big unc, because we got to love the children. The children, will have to watch my doctor, educators are in the house. But, I'm going to be real right now is I grew up, Mr. Christian, in the foster community. I had 8 brothers. Well, actually, I was one of 8 children in the Compton, straight out of Compton, just not a tagline. And so in the 69, hopefully I don't look at I'm 54. But, what I learned throughout the years is we have to take care of one another. We have to have each other's back. There is so much the children are teaching the generation that is coming before us. I know the pandemic did a lot of things that people are, but the long story short of it, there was some great coming of it. There was 5 generations. I'm Generation X. So there's a lot of generations that were put together. And I don't believe in coincidences. I'm a Leo. And I believe that there are reasons why we're all coming together in this great panel on this before the 4th of July. Sue and Emily and Kurt, thank you for putting together the all of inclusive, amazing, amazing group of panelists tonight. Thank you.
Excellent. So Dr. Sheila, I've got another question for you. So I believe Helpopedia is how we all connected. Is that correct?
It is. It is. I received an email, I think, and just tapped in and was just in awe. I sat in on one of the sessions and just really in awe with the things that you all are doing. So I'm thankful for this and grateful for this connection.
So, well, and how much have you done with Helpopedia? I'm wondering if you want to share a little bit of what is that organization? Because our experience has been basically, let's see, Phil Vitrano is the guy who has started all of that, and he has been an amazing resource for the biggest things I've been familiar with is like the high school age and looking towards future and trying to figure out what resources are out there, what potential college pursuit, how do I know what I want to major in, how to connect people to the right resources to answer the questions, because again, we don't as parents necessarily know. It's like, okay, I'm in the science world with what I do, but if my daughter is interested in, I don't know, real estate or, whatever possible career choice it would be that I'm not familiar with, what do I do? Where do I, how do I help her when I don't know anything about that whole realm? So that's where, with what Helpopedia, what the piece of it that I've been familiar with anyway, is that missing link of how to help the students, how to help the parents along the way with that, and how to bring all that education information forward so that our kids can be successful and hopefully successful quicker because they don't have as many hurdles to tackle themselves. We as a community can reach out to those that we know, kind of like, how we all have, a lot of us met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. We're able to know more people because, Diva knows a couple hundred people in actually even across in other countries that are experts in different fields. I might not have the answers myself, but I could always ask Diva, hey, do you know somebody who's an expert in XYZ? And if she doesn't know, she probably can ask somebody who would know. And that's kind of the big flavor of the power of having these resources and having people surround us that can help in that way. Diva, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you know or who they know. So, networking, I am really big on networking and building those relationships because you just never know who you are able to connect. Not everyone's going to do business with you, but you could be that person to refer someone else to someone else and just really just shine on their world.
Exactly. So Dr. Sheila, do you have even some success stories that you could share with us of people you've touched and a difference maybe that you've made with somebody along the way?
Well, I haven't delved much into Helpopedia yet, because when I think I joined last Tuesday, the session, just, listening in, and then I went to California. So I was in San Diego for a few days, so just returned back. So I haven't had the opportunity to really get into it because I was out there networking. I was on a business trip. So
Excellent.
But just and like Diva said, networking is so important. That is the only way to get your message across. You know, if you have a story to tell, you have to give it to the masses, you know, via social media, conferences, or wherever it may be. So, you know, just a little bit of information I've seen about Hippopedia. This seems great way to meet others and share your story or gain knowledge and information. You know, Alan mentioned about a doctor in the house, but you know, I tell everyone I don't know it all. Even my parents, I tell them my parent coaching is about sharing with the parents the things I did right, as well as the things I did wrong. Because I made a lot of mistakes on this journey. I put in the chat box that it's on job training. So I'm here to share with the parents the things that I've done. So yeah, that's what I do. I network and I just share with others, but far and near, how to be a great parent, how to work with your children, and affirm your child, and make sure they're successful.
Excellent. Christian, over to you.
All right, just wanted to chime in. That's one of the things that we've always been taught, and Dr. Sheila will say, we're not supposed to talk to strangers. That's the basic fundamentals where I'm sure she's had an uphill battle, and that's what I'm telling you right now. We've been taught, all us kids, especially in the Hispanic community. Listen, you don't listen, I'm gonna go tell that stranger to take you. Listen, you don't talk to strangers.
And you
Don't talk
don't
to
put them in,
strangers. Don't ever talk
they're
to
not, and they're not supposed to be in the car with a stranger, but we put them in Ubers,
Right,
right?
right. And so these are basic fundamentals that we get. And again, getting taught, we get, again, Dr. Sheila is going to be here. She's going to make me out a truth teller or not. We get told, as kids, no. When you want to jump, we want to run. No. And then we get out into the real world, and then we go, hey, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what we're supposed to do, but I know the answer. Anything I'm supposed to do, it's a no. So we get programmed, and so I think that that's a great opportunity to talk about networking, because I just had a recent was able to help out a person on another platform, networking platform, and her story was, or her obstacle was, how do I better network? And so a lot of people don't know, but you just pitch or you talk to yourself in front of the mirror, and a lot of people just it's so uncomfortable just in a mirror, but that's the best way to practice without feeling some sort of way. So when you talk about Dr. Sheila being here and networking and how we get out there, but we've been told ever since we were little not to talk to strangers. So it even feels uncomfortable networking with people that you may not know. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And actually, another question for you, Dr. Sheila. I'm wondering, what if you had let's see, if you wanted to pinpoint a message that would be something that you want to make sure that people have as a take home from what your experience has been, what stands out to you?
You know, my message is very simple. I actually had to say it to my son today. It's the affirmation that I have in the book. Never give up. Yes, you can. My son is a college student and he was working on some scholarships. He said, Mom, it's just so much. I said, but don't give up. So my message to everyone is don't give up. Keep pushing, keep trying. Christian, I was shaking my head and nodding because back maybe 2, 3 years ago, I would never get on a Zoom and talk like this. You know, could never do it. I suffered from imposter syndrome, you know, but I realized that, first of all, realize the gift that's in you, the purpose that you have. And once you understand what your gift and your purpose is, it boils up in you so much that you want to get it out to the masses. So I'll tell people, don't give up. Share your gift. Find out what's your niche, what's your specialty, area of specialty. You know, I do for all parents. But of course, my heart goes out to parents of Black boys because I know the numbers. I know what happens in the world and the things that are against them.
Yes.
I want to help everyone to be successful, but I found my niche. So tell them to find their niche, find their purpose and their plan, and just go do it. Do it scared, because that's what I've done. Do it scared. Don't give up.
Awesome. Diva, over to you.
Yeah, you know what? I absolutely love what you just said there. As a person with a disability and a woman and a minority, I've got a lot of things that sometimes, you know, the world is pushing against me, but just never giving up and always believing in yourself and your dream and your vision, wow, that is powerful. And Kristen, what you said about processing in the mirror, so, so true. But even if, so anyone out there listening, even if you're still a little hesitant of networking, getting out there, meeting people, it's okay. You know what? The more you do it, the more they will get to know you. And then they will start shining the light on you. And you don't even need to talk about yourself. So just go out there and do it.
Excellent. Yeah, and I know you are the essence of living creatively and finding ways to make things work. And that's a piece of this too, right? To figure out how do I do this? And leaning on friends that you are, maybe it's a friend you haven't met yet. You never know, that next person you meet might be that person that's going to make a big difference in your world. You don't know until you start opening your mouth and start talking, and it's all good. Or however you communicate, right? We all have different abilities, but we all have that ability to be outward focused. There's a friend a while back that was actually her business was outward focus, and that totally took a different view on things when I heard that, because I tend to, believe it or not, I'm kind of a natural introvert. So doing this kind of thing was something that kind of like, okay, I'm what I'm talking to people, I'm honest, so that we all have ways to do more and do different things and push yourself a little bit. It's okay. And if you stumble, so what? Get back up, try again. It's not the end of the world if you stumble along the way. It's okay. And that's what, again, look at others, see what others are doing. What are they doing that's successful? How can I follow the leader in some way until, at some point, maybe I'll be the leader once I learn what I need to know. There's all sorts of possibilities there. And yeah, there is so much. I just love what this group is, the energy that's being brought here. I know we only have just a short time left. I'll give Christian a moment here. If you have maybe 30 seconds, if you have last thoughts on your mind after this evening here.
Yeah, the biggest benefactor, one of the things that I love the most is, and my kids' school has the 7 habits of happy kids. I don't know if
Ooh.
Dr. Sheila may have heard about it, but one of the things that we need, not just our children, but we need, I'm going to say I need, and what I kept going and how do we support each other best is by listening. But we don't listen to respond. And that's what us adults have already been trained to do, is I know better than you, just listen. No, 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 no. We got to listen to understand, and just listening to understand. So Alan's up in Compton, I believe that's what he said. I'm down in North County, San Diego, where Dr. Sheila was visiting shortly. But the biggest thing is just even getting out to the communities. We're at any level, political, organizational, or anything else, if we stop and listen, not for a response, but to understand the situation and how we best can support that, sometimes it's continuing to shut up. And I'm going to say that as my last bit that I've made my many, many years ago. Thank the man upstairs made a wonderful living talking. I would never be able to tell you that I make the most and I grow the most when I'm quiet.
Oh, I love that. And that listening to understand, I think that's something we all want to be understood, and sometimes forget the part about listening to understand. So thank you all so much. Dr. Sheila, Alan, Debbie, Diva, Christian, you guys are amazing. And for all of us here, we thank you.